Well, I need to get a haircut today. It may not look very long at the moment, but that's because I just washed it. So, because it's wet, it's kind of controlling the poof a little bit, but it is out of control. So, got several things that I could do today, but I think what takes precedent today is trying to find a barber and get my hair cut. So I can't put up with it much longer, honestly. I had said that I was going to try to cut it myself next time it needed to be cut, and I am just tapping out of that. I'm chickening out. There are several barbers in town, one that I know of that's like 15 bucks. So I think that's preferable versus me butchering it, and it's probably going to take me hours. For the people that say that cutting your own hair is easy, I'm guessing that you have straight hair, that you don't have curly or wavy hair. So I'm just not going to try it yet. If it were cold out and I were, say, in Seattle or something, I would just put a toque on and cover up the bad haircut I got. But I'm in beautiful San Diego, and today the weather is supposed to be absolutely incredible. I need to get out of the van, though. So I'm drinking my favorite coffee, which is from a company called Groundwork. This is an LA and Portland based coffee company, and this is their organic Ethiopian blend of coffee, and it is my absolute favorite. I've been drinking some bargain basement coffee lately and haven't had anything really spectacular, and I saw this on sale the other day in a flyer somewhere. I always check sale flyers online weekly, and I noticed it was on sale, so ran over and bought a bag of it, and I am really happy that I did. Well, there's nothing wrong with the coffee that I was drinking. It's just not nearly to the level of this one. And like I said, this is my favorite, so it's kind of nice to get back to something spectacular. Okay, solved one important matter by getting some good coffee, and now I need to get on to the next important matter, which is finding a barber and getting this mop taken care of. Okay, I am happy. It was well past time to get a haircut, and I think I made the right decision just to go back to barber that I know. I've been going to this barbershop for 5 years or so. Now, of course, I haven't been around San Diego for a few of those 5 years, but now that I'm back in the San Diego area, I've been coming here, usually if I can. They just really do a good job. I was thinking it was $15, but it's $20. Maybe they've just raised their prices, which would be the first time in 5 years. But yeah, maybe I'm just forgetting the exact price. But $20 is fine with me, especially when I get a good haircut. Now, I need to think about lunch because I didn't eat any breakfast. Well, I think I'm just going to make some lunch right here in the parking lot. I have been extra hungry lately, and so I ran into Trader Joe's and bought some pasta, just some fresh pasta, just to have on hand. I bought this last night, and I kind of thought that it would be good maybe to just have it on hand, so if I get famished, I could just cook it up quickly. I'd have something quick to make for lunch. I've been trying to get away from eating packaged food, but the ingredients on these don't look so bad, and I have been trying to just increase my calorie counts. Last month I saved a lot of money. Where is my valve? Okay. Last month I saved a lot of money on food by making a lot myself and not eating out at all. But I think the thing that kind of did me in was because I wasn't going to the grocery store as much, I wasn't buying as many snacks, and so that has kind of cut my calorie intake quite a bit. So I was making enough food, but I wasn't snacking nearly enough because I just haven't been keeping snacks or much of anything that's prepackaged around in the van. So I think I need to change that up a little bit. Maybe I just need to make things that I can keep on hand that I can easily cook and eat, because I have been just absolutely famished the last few days, and that is not good. So that's why I bought this, even though this is not really something that I would normally buy. But I think, being that and then you see I just did what I shouldn't do, was I didn't eat breakfast this morning. So really should have ate breakfast this morning. Yeah, I have no excuses. And yes, I do realize I have crowded this pasta in this little pot here. I'm okay with that because it's fresh pasta, so it's going to be just fine. And I'm just going to finish this off with a little bit of butter. And maybe some pepper would be good too. I don't think I've tried this pasta before from Trader Joe's, so we'll see if I like it. Okay, that was a pretty good lunch, but I think I should probably wash my hair before I do anything else, just so I don't scatter little bits of hair all over the place. And unfortunately, I can't just jump in the shower. My shower is actually broke. I'll talk about that some other time, but good news is I can wash my hair in my sink, and this was kind of the whole point of buying the sink, was it was just big enough for me to do that. So when I wash my hair, I usually use Dr. Bronner's bar soap. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to give it a quick wash, try to knock some of the mess out of there so I don't have a bunch of hair all over my kitchen, bed, living room, den, office, and rumpus room here. Okay, I feel so much better getting that mop taken care of. Washing my hair like that in the sink obviously is not the easiest thing to do, but you know, it works. I was able to get rid of, I think, most or all of the hair. So I'm fine with that because that's all I've got. You know, would it be nicer to have a shower? Yeah, it would be nicer to have a shower. It'd be quicker and all, and in fact, I need to now refill my water tank because I probably imagine I used a gallon or so of water, so that's kind of a lot for me to use at once. But anyway, at least I've got it. It's there, and it just kind of shows that the van is really kind of set up to kind of handle pretty much everything I need. Anyway, enough about that. I'm happy to get my hair cut. And if I didn't mention this before, this barbershop here is right next to my favorite laundromat here in San Diego. And that was how I found this barber back years ago, going back 5 or 6 years ago now. It's really nice to have them together. I intended to get my hair cut when I did my laundry last week here, but then the day kind of ran away from me and I wasn't able to get in before they closed. But not a big deal. This is just a few miles away from Mission Bay, so it's kind of an easy spot just to come and get everything taken care of. There's a Vons here in this shopping plaza as well, so you can do your shopping as well if you wanted to. So good place, really good place. I just highly recommend the barbershop, the laundry, and well, that's about it. I don't recommend Vons. Well, now that I've got the important stuff taken care of, I have been wanting to go into the Apple store and take a look at phones, and I'm a little hesitant to do that. My phone that I am using now, which is what I'm using to record this video with, is an older phone, which I really like. I've been really happy with this phone. It's an iPhone 11 Pro Max, and it does everything well. It does everything really well, and I've just been really happy with it. And I know there's a lot of people who don't like iPhones and Apple products. I have been using Apple products for a long time. In fact, I realized recently here that I have been using Apple products since 1985. Yes, 1985. I am well invested in Apple and their products. It's just been so many years. It also gives you a little idea of how old I am. And that's all we need to talk about that. Moving on. I have looked at moving away from an iPhone and looking at getting an Android phone. And the more I look at that, the more I realize it probably wouldn't be a good fit for me. When I bought this iPhone, now going back a little over 2 years, I think I've had this phone, or right around 2 years. My intention was to keep it, just keep it forever. And I don't know how good of an idea that is. You know, electronic stuff wears out, especially stuff that we use all the time. And I haven't had any issue with this phone except for the fact that the battery is starting to become an issue. There's a little battery diagnostic that you can run on an iPhone, and it'll tell you the percentage of battery capacity that you have left. And mine is under 90%. It's upward in the upper 80% area, which means at some point I am going to have to think about either getting a new battery or just replacing the phone. Then Apple sent me an email saying that they would give me $500 as a trade-in for a new phone. And that got me thinking about not keeping this phone, which was my original intention, and maybe just trading it in and getting a new phone, just because I really need a phone, a good phone that I can rely on. That $500 would really take a big sting out of the purchase price of buying a new phone. So I'm kind of on the fence about doing that, and so I think since I've got most of the day here left, I might just go over to one of the Apple stores and just kind of poke around a little bit. If nothing else, I can get my phone updated because I haven't updated my phone in quite some time, and that needs to be done. So if nothing else, I can use their Wi-Fi. I don't spend a lot of time in malls these days, and I get here and realize that there's 2 free hours of parking, and then after that you have to pay. Yeah, if I'd known that, I probably would have just not come over here, but I'm here. Probably won't be a problem unless I try to buy a phone. Then I imagine it might take more than a couple of hours, depending on how busy they are, but I guess I better get in there and figure this out. Well, that was very bizarre. Really bizarre. So I couldn't log on to the Wi-Fi for some reason, and it was really busy in there, so maybe that was why. Maybe there were just too many people. I don't know, but that's the first I've ever had a problem logging on to an Apple Store Wi-Fi. So that was a bit odd. And then I walked in the store, and the person that greeted me was incredibly rude. She was just insanely rude. And maybe, again, because it was busy, maybe she was just feeling pressure. I don't know, but I turned right around and walked out. So she didn't seem too unhappy that I just wanted to leave. So she just let me go quite easily. So I guess there's the answer. I will keep my phone for now. Maybe I'll try another Apple Store at some point, but I think I've had enough of malls already, even though I've only spent about 15 minutes here. Well, as long as I'm not spending money on things that I don't need, I think that's what this means is I wasn't supposed to buy a new phone. I need to just hang on to this phone. That's how I'm taking this. So as long as I'm not spending money on a new phone, I think I have a better idea of what to spend money on. There is a Whole Foods close by. I think I'm going to go buy some stew meat and make some stew or something. We'll see what they have when I get over there. Yeah, just something good, I think, to cook would be a good idea. So I was on my way to go to Whole Foods, and then I realized I'm passing right by a Bristol Farms. And you know, I'm not the biggest fan of Whole Foods, so I just made a quick decision just to shop in Bristol Farms. I haven't been in one in a while, so we'll see what they have. I'm not doing too well here today with stores. The meat in there was a little overpriced, and I really didn't like the look of it. So I didn't buy anything. I guess I can just keep going, because the Whole Foods is, well, not too far away from here, I think. It appears to be a day of kind of poor decisions, because this is not the place I should have headed to. They are apparently doing some paving or painting of the pavement. I don't know, but things are a little jammed up in here. Maybe I should have just stayed at home this morning. So the funny thing here is there's plenty of parking. It's just all the spaces are on the other side of the lot, and I'm guessing everybody's going to Whole Foods and everybody wants to just park at Whole Foods instead of walking a short distance across the parking lot. So this does me fine. Now let's go see if they have something that I actually want to buy. Okay, we got lots of good stuff here. I even bought some wine. Yeah, you'll see why later. Let's see, none of this has to go in the fridge. I'm just going to set this aside for now, and I need to find a place to park because it's starting to get a little dark and broody out. So I think it might rain in a bit. So since I'm going to be cooking a little bit, I think I need to find a place I can just park and stay for the evening. Okay, this spot looks good to me. There's a little football field here and a little park, and this is not the best place to park overnight because it tends to be a little noisy. lots of traffic going by, but for my purposes today, I think this will be a good spot. All right, so got the wine, Cabernet Sauvignon, although that's not really going to make a difference to me. Bought a sweet onion, some celery, just a few little carrots, and you probably have already guessed, I got some stew meat. And oddly, the stew meats at Whole Foods not only looked a little bit better, but it was a better price compared to Bristol Farms. So I'm glad I just went to Whole Foods instead of just buying it at Bristol Farms, because it looks a lot better. So. Yes, I'm crying a little bit, but it's because of the onions. All the onions. Okay, I've cooked these carrots and celery off a little bit. I just want to get a little color and flavor on them, and I'm going to add those in later on, but for right now I'm just going to have them sitting off to the side. I don't want them to get completely obliterated because I've got to cook this meat down for a little while. So all that time is just going to turn them into mush, so I'm going to try to keep them a little bit as their own ingredients. And then just going to add the meat and the onion back in. And I don't really care if the onion gets kind of obliterated, that's fine by me. And just fire it up again. And then at this point, in goes the wine. And then once it comes to a boil, I'll turn it down to a simmer and then just let the meat cook for a little while. Probably going to be a couple of hours. It might be a good idea to let this cool down a little bit, but I really want to taste it. That is pretty fantastic. And it may seem like it takes a little while to get it cooked, but for me, I was doing other things, and so for me this is fine. I can just let it simmer away, and also I've got several meals worth out of this. So quite a bit of food for a couple of hours of simmering, and not much in the way of work exactly. I mean, I had a little chopping to do and a little browning to do, but that was about it for this. It was mostly just sitting and waiting for this. The other thing is, most people like to thicken up the sauce, and I used to do that years ago. Just don't like to do that anymore. I find that it has much better flavor when it's kind of thin like this. This is one of my favorite things to cook. I could eat this a lot, especially this time of year. This is the time of year to start thinking about stews, and so I guess that's why I thought about doing it today. Plus, I've been a little hungry lately, so this is good. Gives me plenty of food to eat. So I am going to enjoy this, and I just would like to say thanks for watching. I really appreciate it.